Hello, everybody. Joe Malone here, coming to you live from Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it looks like we may be off of Facebook once again. Oh, gosh. Tell you, it's one thing or another with them. It seems like cannot rely on them anymore. You would think you would be, but, you know, they just seem to have gotten more and more prickly, and so we're not on Facebook today. We're not broadcasting on Facebook, but we are broadcasting on YouTube. So that's looking good. Just kind of a little bit of technical, not too bad on the technical, but definitely have bandwidth issues here. So I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I'm going to get this thing eventually fixed. There we go. There we go. All right. So that's shoot. I'm just trying to adjust things here. So thanks for bearing with me. Still I'm bandwidth constrained, so hopefully we'll get up here in just a second. Come on. Come on. All right. So I'm frozen on the screen here a little bit. Still trying to make some adjustments. But it is a Thursday, and the 24th, and so hopefully you're hearing my voice. The screen is a little bit frozen. Hopefully we can get that, right. So let's try it now, and hopefully we'll get there. So I'm going to go forward if I can. I'm still frozen on my slides, so give me a second here, and hopefully we'll come back. Boy. All right. May just have to go to an avatar. Anyways, GameStop is off today. No surprise. It's seen a pretty bad pullback. No surprise there. The chickens are coming home to roost. The market is pulling back, so I definitely have had some interesting things going on here today. I shorted Microsoft, which is definitely in a little bit of a decline. We'll see. It's bounced up a little bit. The key level on it was at 237 level, and it looks like it might be it might be lower than that. So just going to show you the market direction, and here we go with the market direction. Basically, what's happening here is the Nasdaq is pulling back. It's down about 1.17% today. It is fallen well below the 50-day line. I think that we may be we tested, and it looks like we're going to be pulling back. So it looks like I'm going to be shorting. I did close my spread that I had on Disney. Disney has pulled back as well, and I'm probably going to close my spread on Apple, as it has pulled back as well. So basically, I am reorienting myself to more of a bear stance. I've been sort of neutral, but it looks as if I may be moving to more of a bear stance. Just want to show you the chart for GameStop today. It is pulled back significantly. It's basically down to the 50-day line, and it looks like it's probably going to pull below that. So it's at 135 now. It's down $46.75, or about 25%. I don't think we're going to get some. I don't think we're going to get support at the 50-day. So if you're in GameStop, really recommend you possibly bailing right now, because it might get worse. Again, remember, always put in that 7% rule, because when they pull back hard, and I think that that's going to definitely be the case with GameStop. So be very careful if you're in that stock right now. Just want to show you a stock that is doing well, and that is Ubiquity. Ubiquity, UI is the symbol on that one, and even though it is down today, about $8.57, it's been climbing as of late. Basically, it is forming a cup with handle pattern, but not really actionable right now. But I just wanted to show you it has a composite rating of 99, which is the best you can get. But I still believe that this isn't really investable yet, unfortunately, because the market is getting softer. Just wanted to show you the S&P. We're up a little bit on the S&P, which is great. Now remember, the S&P is the majority of the S&P stocks. About a third of them are financials. So they seem to be buoying the market a little bit, but and the market, we're still in a confirmed uptrend. And the S&P is up about 1.70 right now. So it's above the key level, which of course is the 50-day line. So that's good. It looks like it's getting some strength, and but definitely, we're definitely moving lower. It looks as if, even though we're still in a confirmed uptrend. This is the chart that I really think you have to look at very carefully, and of course that is the Nasdaq Composite. And right now with the Nasdaq Composite, we are below the 50-day. The key level on the Nasdaq Composite is about 13,400. We are currently at 13,071, and it looks as if we made an attempt to rebound, but it looks like we're pulling back. So right now, money is starting to, it's starting to move to the Dow and the S&P away from the Nasdaq. And I mean, it's been going on pretty much for several weeks. So basically, that's kind of where you've got to look. Now, I want to show you where the money is moving to in the market. And interestingly enough, it's a lot of interesting disfavored sectors that weren't very popular just very short time ago. But Oil and Gas Royalty Trust is number one on the ratings this week. The Canadian oil gas. This is really interesting. And I have a little bit of, there's 5 stocks in this group, and I think I want to show you this. It's down a little bit today, but the money has been flowing here. And so only 6 weeks ago, this was 99 out of 197 sectors. Currently, it's number 2. So that tells you something. 3 weeks ago, it was 34. So obviously, this is moving to the top. The Canadian oil and gas producers. I think you got to look at this. Look at this sector of the economy. Here is basically a chart of that. You can see it's been pulling up as of late, really since November. Really hit lows, but it's lining up very nicely. It's pulled below the 10-day line, but it looks like it's bounced off the 21-day. This is the entire group, taken as hold. I want to kind of show you some stocks that are in this. The best of the breed right now, and they're all up today, is Canadian Natural Resources, symbol CNQ. So that's a $30 stock, $30.29. It's up $1.39, or about 4%. So finally getting some love in this sector. There's another one called Crescent Point Energy, which seems to be doing quite well. It's up 21 cents today. Up about $5, up to about 21 cents, but that because it's such a low price stock, that translates into $5.37. So that's looking pretty good. Vermilion Energy is up as well. Interplus Corp and Barnwell Industries. The thing is, I think that you probably, the best of the breed, even though it's a little bit higher, you probably want to look at CNQ, symbol CNQ, for Canadian Natural Resources. And it looks like there is money moving into this area, so this might be something to watch list. Here's the chart. As you can see, it's been pulling up. Then in the early part of March, it started to pull back down. This is the daily chart. It then bounced, so we may have a bounce on this one, and that's looking good. It's only a 55 composite rating, which is very, very low. But again, this sector is doing much, much better. The Canadian oil and gas companies, Canadian Natural Resources, CNQ is the symbol there. So kind of want to show you what I'm holding currently. Really mixed bag. I've gotten stopped out of a lot of things. I've been putting my toe in the water, and I'm getting bitten off by the sharks. And so I'm up at Lowe's, which is a symbol LOW. I'm up about 1% today. Not a lot, but it's better than a poke in the eye with a stick. I'm down on the floor, but just 18 cents. This one is kind of just bouncing around that $20 mark. It moves up and moves down. No real conviction on this one. I did go into Intel today. It's down a little when this slide was taken. I do believe that this one's going to move higher. They just announced that they're going to spend $20 billion and build 2 new fabs in Arizona. So I do think that we're going to see some action on INTC. I did short a stock today, and I was previously long this stock. I just looked at the charts, and it just moved against me. So I went and I shorted this stock. It's Microsoft. It is down a little bit, not a lot. I do expect that we're going to see some weakening there. If the QQQ weakens, we're going to definitely see, weakness in this stock. So, Microsoft is a short, at least for right now. So, that's kind of what I'm looking at in terms in terms of that. So, let me just adjust the screen here. I'm just a little bit of a bandwidth issue, so you're probably hearing my voice and my visage is jumping around. So hopefully, yeah, there we can go. I'm trying to adjust this, so hopefully we're going to see it adjust. I'm having a lot of issues with the network right now. It seems to be moving very, very slowly. So hopefully we'll get right up. Okay, hold on. We're almost there. Nope. Let's see if it'll let me. It's being very, very particular. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it to give me a screen here. Yeah, finally give me a screen. We're having some network congestion issues. So that's going to probably have to be at least for now. There we go. All right. Well, geez. Yeah, I'm getting constrained in terms of my bandwidth. So I may have to turn off the camera here in just a second to lighten the load a little bit. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So sorry about that. I'm going to have to go to a voice here. So sorry about that. It's just I don't have even though I should have a lot of bandwidth in this building. Again, I'm having some bandwidth issues, and so I'm going to go to the just the charts. Okay, thanks for holding on with me. I appreciate it. And Will is the first question. What industries do you think I should get into? Well, right now it's really, really tough. As I was saying before, I think the oil and gas industries are looking the best, but really, to be honest with you, they're really not looking all that good either. I did show some of the Canadian oil drills. They seem to be doing quite well. The best of the breed is symbol CNQ. So right now, at least, that seems to be where it's going. So I'm looking at the Canadian oil drillers. And CNQ is really the only one. Probably the best of the breed is this CNQ. So that's kind of where I'm looking right now. Not a lot out there, really, to be brutally honest. This is a chart of CNQ here. Let's go to the full screen. There we go. Okay. It has been working pretty good. Let's look at the weekly chart to kind of show you. We're making at about $30. We're basically above the new high. So this is one I think is interesting. I don't have any positions in this right now, but at least from what I'm seeing in the market, this is where the strength is currently, and that is in the Canadian oil drillers, which is interesting because that's not normally the place that I'm looking for for strength. But right now it is at a new higher high. The cup without handle formation, which was way back here, basically almost 2 years ago, It was at 30.48. It's currently at 30.02. So it's getting ready to move beyond that particular point. Now, earnings are down here, but it looks as if we're going to get higher oil prices, and it does look like some of the Canadian producers are going to be doing fairly well here. So that is something to look at. That is something to look at. Let me see if I can get my camera going again here. There we go. I think it's going now. Let me see if I can adjust the camera here. It's kind of been not the best. Okay, so there we go. All right. So hopefully that will free up in just a second, and we'll get back on the screen. Yeah, there. Oops. Again, we're waiting for the lag here. And there we go. Okay, so we should be back now. So hopefully I'm back, and not quite perfectly, but not as bad as it was. Okay, so thanks for bearing with me with those little technical things. All right, so let's look here. Full name Digicryptics Blockchain Solutions. Can you please list something? Well, I will, but just give me a symbol, please, and I'll come back to it. Let's for Will, let's look at WFC. Let's take a look here. Wells Fargo. Well, not bad. It's off $1, and the financials have been showing strength as of late. I don't really recommend them right now because of the situation with the stimulus. Goodness gracious, why am I? There we go. But let's take a look at the daily chart on Wells Fargo. It definitely has been moving higher, so that is good. This is the daily chart. It's come back and it's tested the 21-day line, which is a good thing. And it does look like it is, but it seems to be getting support there. The checklist is still not very good for a bank of this size. It's only 55%. There's a lot of funds in it, 2,400, and the industry rank is 72, which is it's that's not bad, but again, it's not stellar either. So here's the thing on Wells Fargo. I just think that it's it maybe is a watch list right now, but I just probably wouldn't be in it. Let's look at ALL to see sort of Allstate. Another one of the financials, it looks like it's just cleared a buy zone, so this is interesting. The insurance, this is sort of a defensive take. The relative strength is only 38, though. Not really. That's not really enough for me. 68 on the checklist is good. The ownership is very good at 2195 funds in it. The industry rank is okay. It's 108 out of 197, but again, it's not in the top 10 on the it's not in the top 10 on the area. So let's kind of look, because the market definitely is changing its character. So let's kind of just take a look at which of the which of the areas are going to be the best on this. And I do believe that in terms of the areas, there we go. Okay, yeah. Oops, one more up. Did I get the right one? I'm trying. There we go. These are the top industry groups currently out there. And number one is oil and gas royalty trust. I'm going to show you that one in just a second. There might be some opportunity in retail discount stores. Interestingly enough, none of these areas are up today because the market is pulling back and it probably is going to correct. But that's probably a place that we could probably look for for some strength. Let's look at computer integrated systems. That may be a place that we can kind of look. Well, none of these are very, very strong. Okay, so let's look at computer integrated systems. Let me see if I can pull that one up just to see what's in that particular those particular that particular group. So computer integrated systems is sort of where I want to be looking, because of this is sort of, where the where I think we have the best opportunity. So let's go to that, and let's see if I can find that for you. No, hold on, we'll wait a second for the computer to refresh here, and hopefully there we go. Okay, and then we're gonna see it a little bit better. Okay, so let's go to this group, and okay, still there we go. Nope. Okay, there was a change. Yeah. Consumer electronics media. I'm just looking for the industry group rankings here. Well, let's look at the media group, because that has been trending well as of late. This is the group, right? This is the media group, and let's see kind of what's in it, and let's see what's the best in it. Okay, right now, Discovery Channel is the best, and I have a spread on this one. So let's look at Discovery. That's sort of the best of the breed right now. So let's look at that chart for Discovery to see if there's anything there that we can see. Boy, it's really pulled back hard today. Down $9, down $9. So I don't know what's going on there. So that's not looking good. That's definitely a sign. That's a sell sign. So I'm probably going to have to close my short, my spread on this. This is a sell sign on that group. So definitely we are moving lower. It looks like we're overall we're just moving over. We're just moving over. So it's probably time to pull back into cash. It's just not being good. Thoughts on ERII? Let's look at this. So probably it's looking like the market is getting ready to turn lower. Though energy recovery, okay, desalinization plants, yeah, okay, it's got a relative strength of 88. That's not bad. There's been a lot of selling activity though. Yeah, looks kind of like it is selling off actually. Not as bad as Discovery though. That's for sure. All right, let's take a look. Wow, it's got a 100% checklist. That's excellent. 199 funds in it. Let's look at the sector. 98 out of 197. Not spectacular, but not bad. Is this buyable? This has a downward trend. I would not buy. Not a buy for now. Really, that's kind of that's kind of the where I'm going with. So not a buy. Now, and watch this. So I would on this one. I don't think it's a buy for now. I just think you've got to watch this, and so that's kind of what my feeling is for energy resources. Appreciate the question, but I just don't think I just don't think it's the right one. So let's try. Let's see if we can get one positive one here. Thoughts on ACTO, short-term, long-term. I don't know what ACTO. I don't have access to that chart because it's on the Toronto Exchange. Here's what I would do if I were investing in. Take a look at CNR, Canadian National Resources. That's probably your best bet right now. I don't have access to the. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the feed on the Toronto Exchange. Yeah, and fortunately, it doesn't let me do that. So I'm so sorry, Fernanda. I'm so sorry. Can't do that one. Jim, busy putting on shorts. Yeah, Roots and Truths. I think you're right. Hey, I think it's time to short. I'm going to show you kind of what I did today with Microsoft. But I think the market is gonna, yeah, it's in the, yep, there it is. Okay, okay. Uh, oh, goodness gracious. Yes, it looks like, yeah, Microsoft is down. Uh, Microsoft is seeing a lot of weakness. This means that the QQQs are going lower, and yeah, it's looking like it's time to short. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it here. See these two little things, but this is where I entered my short, and then I'm short. So I entered my short. It's up $5 for the week, but basically what's going to happen here is we're going to see it move lower today. It's down $2, so looking like the market is time to short. And I'll be doing some more stuff on on shorting. Roku, is it still a put? Yeah, I think it is. I have a bull put. I have a bull put spread on this one. It's a bear. I think we're going to go lower. I'm not normally. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. There we go. Yeah. So we're going lower on this one. So my bull put spread should be doing well, as you can see. I don't know if you can see these marks here, but I entered the spread basically right here. If it moves to this target area, then I do very well. So it looks like we are in a not a bear market yet, but yeah, it's looking kind of bad. So you might want to do a you might want to do a bear on this one, Arnold. I think that we're going to see some more weakness. That's what I'm looking. I did close my short. I had a bull call spread on Disney today. I closed it just looking at the weakness, and I'm going to take a look at Apple in just a second here, because I may be closing my spread on Apple too. Yeah, it's it's down too. So it's time to close my spread on it's time to close my spread on Apple as well. So basically, I think that the best thing right now is probably to get more into cash, and then start getting ready to short, and start because it does look like the market is going to turn lower. Apple is the bellwether, and it's pulling lower. So if Apple pulls below about 120, I think that then I think we've got to get real serious, and possibly look at doing some other things. I do have a short in Microsoft. I'm probably not going to short Apple because I don't think it's going to pull back that much. But I do think that that's going to be, at least for the near term, I think that is going to be where we're going to see, some levels. So let's look at the resistance on Apple right now. Let's look at that. All right. Let's look at Apple. Okay, so let's look at Roku again, and see if I can do something here. Yeah, okay. I do think that when we fall below, we're below the 50-day, we're below the 20, so we're looking. This is looking like, yeah, this is looking like it's probably going to fall. I'm seeing the major resistance is at that level, which is about 317.70. That's a key area for me. I do think if we fall below that, I think that it's going to move lower. That's the calendar spread. So, I do think that we're going to see it move lower than that, and it does look like it's going lower. So 317.70 is another one. Let's look at VUZI. Let's see if we've got a buy point on that one. VUZI. All right. Well, the buy point that I had on it basically is right at this level here, um, which is if it moves above 24 is where I would buy it, but right now it's pulling back, so yeah, it's below the buy point, and it looks like it's pulling lower. So let's see if it gets support at the 21 day. It's really strong, but I would say it would be about 24. So Jay, I think that on that, and I'm going to show you the chart here. This is kind of where I would be looking to buy it, but I'm looking only if it moves above that, and currently it's below. What's happened is it's pulled back and it's touched the 10-day line. Let's see how strong this is. If it right now you can't really do anything, you got to wait on this. But if it bounces off the 21-day or the 10-day line and moves above about 24, that's where I think you can. That's where I think you can really do something. So really, I think you're going to have to wait on this one. The market is becoming weaker, and that's just that's just. Are we going to get a correction? It's really hard to say, but it's looking like it. It's looking like that we are starting to see the beginning of a correction. A lot of stuff isn't working, and when this happens, this is a tough one. Let's look at the spider. And by the way, there are people that are shorting the QQQ right now. So I want to look at the SQQQ here in just a second. After hours, the spider is up. It's bounced. It's up 18 cents. It seems like it didn't quite test the 50-day moving average, but there's a lot of selling activity. So overall, I mean, the spider is holding up much better than the Nasdaq. So it's holding up much better than the Nasdaq. Let's look at the Qs. I want to see that really quickly. We might have a situation where we can go to the SQQQ. Yeah, the Qs are down today. What's happened is it's right now the Qs are having trouble holding the 50-day line. They came up and then they failed. So and the relative strength area was pointing down. So it's 48. Right now, let's look at the SQQQs. It's not yet time to enter the SQQQs yet, but we might get a situation where they're up. Yeah, they're up a little bit, just slightly. Not a lot, not enough to get into them yet. We have to really wait until the Qs are above 1678 before we can do something on the SQQQ. So right now, we have to be careful. We just have to be careful. That's all I'm going to say. What do you think? When do you think ARK will stop bleeding? Well, I think it's going to bleed some more. I basically have a bear spread on it right now because I did, with the weakness of Tesla, which is one of the main holdings. I think it's going to continue to bleed. I think it's going to bleed lower. I'm afraid. Let me just take a look at my book here. I'm going to take a look to see, because I do have a position in ARK, but it is not I don't own the shares. I have I have an options contract, and let me see if I can get that really quick. I'm just kind of going all over the place today, aren't I? Okay, so let me see. This is on Roku. And let's go back to ARK. This is Discovery. And yeah, okay. Well, okay, ARK. So let me see. Today we're seeing ARK at 115. So let me look that up. Yeah, okay. So, okay, well, actually, and I want to show you the spread that I actually have on it. I don't know if you can see this. There you go. Anyways, I have a spread on it. It's actually a bear spread. So here's my thing, Kate. I think it's probably, the trend right now in ARK Invest is downward. So you might want to consider closing your position. Now, for me, it's a little different because I have a bear spread. It actually makes money as it goes down, but I'm afraid probably in your position, you're probably holding the shares outright, and that is probably not going to do that well. So here's what I consider about ARK. ARK, I mean, Kathy Woods is a great stock picker, but the problem with ARK is right now is that its main holding, Tesla, just hasn't been holding up, and this is the key issue with ARK Invest. As you can see, it's pulled lower today. It's down after hours. It's 6:30. If Tesla breaks below 600, then I think we're going to be in a bear market. But right now, right now it's trending lower. So things like ARK Invest aren't going to probably be doing as well as they have been in the past. So that's kind of my take on it. Let me see if I can get a question from TikTok here. And let's see. All right. Okay, I'm looking to see. Thanks for everyone joining. What's going on in the market these days? We started with crushing. This is just really a mild correction. I mean, but we're definitely going to see a pullback. I mean, we're definitely going to see a pullback in the market. I mean, that's what it's saying to me. Now, I've been warning about this for a few weeks, and I got into cash, and then I basically thought that it was going to sort of change, but it doesn't look like it looks like we're going to move lower. So I think we got to be really careful right now initiating new positions, and we got to really, if a stock moves down more than about, if we're long on a stock, then I think we got to be super, super careful, put our stop losses very, very tight, because it does look we're coming into a correction, and we're not there yet, but we may be there soon. So let's look at the cues to kind of get a feel on that. I do think that we are possibly entering a correction, and this is really due to the cues, because the QQQ has not been able to hold the key level at about 320. Then I think that we're moving out. Now, will it pull up tomorrow? Probably. There will be probably a little bit of a relief rally tomorrow, but I think in general it's time to possibly start looking to get short, because it does kind of look that way. It does look like we're moving lower. They have not really been able to figure out the stimulus thing, and so it's probably going to bleed some more. So here's the thing. If I were in the ARK funds right now, I consider possibly lightening up or possibly selling, because one of their primary holdings, Tesla, is not performing as well as has been. So that's going to pull down. Now, long term, I think the ARK funds are really great. I mean, if your time horizon is 2-3 years, then I think it's excellent. But I think in the short term, you're probably going to lose money if you stay in the fund. So I would consider possibly lightening up, maybe selling half of it, and then waiting. But I do think they're going to pull back. Let's look at ARK again. I just want to look at the chart on it. ARKK is the symbol, and of course this is an ETF. And the way this is trending, I don't like it. It's been trending the wrong direction, as you can see. So I think you need to probably consider lightening up on ARK Invest right now. So that's kind of my take on that. So let's see. Thoughts on WD Walker and Dunlop? I don't know what that is. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure. Let me take another question, because I need the symbol on that. Let's look at X. Okay, U.S. Steel had been looking fairly good. AG Metall, which is the largest steel company in the world, it's basically a conglomerate of Luxembourg steel companies, and its ownership, I think, is Indian primarily. But this has been not as strong as I'd like to have seen it. It does have a beautiful base formation. This is a cup with handle, but it is pulling back, and the buy point on this one is basically at 24.48. It's currently 19.57, so it's really not buyable yet. It's a watch list. Let's see if it can get some support at the 50-day line. That's right here, but it doesn't. It looks like today it just pulled right to the 50-day line. So I can't really say how that's going to do, but I would not be going into it right now. It's just very weak. TP I see. Right now, it's weak. It's a weak chart. I would be very careful with it. Okay, this is interesting. Global wind turbine manufacturers. Here's the thing about wind turbines. I think what's going to happen. I think you're going to. I don't know if wind is the place to be right now. I think the place to be is oil because it's much more beaten down. So I probably would not be a buyer in this area because I think it's pulling back, at least in the short term. I don't think it's as powerful as it was. So I probably would avoid this area. Let's just take a look at the kind of the ranking. I want to look at the sector of this. Okay, it does have 420 funds in it, which is very good, and the industry ranking isn't bad. It's a 30 out of 197, but and the checklist is good. So generally speaking, this is pretty good. But I just see a pullback here, at least in the short term. It's pulled back down to the 200-day line. It moved up above that. It's starting to make its way back down the 200-day line. So this is essentially a falling knife right now. So I don't think you want to be in it. Third day trying Digi is the symbol. Okay, let's look at Digi. GIGI is the symbol for Digi. There we go. Okay, it says symbol not recognized. I'm sure. Yeah. Thank you very much. That may be the name of the company, but unfortunately that's not the symbol. So DIGI. I'm sorry. That's not a valid symbol for the. Let's thoughts on CCIV. I think CCIV. This is a blank check company, and I don't think it's probably. It might be doing good, but I don't know. It isn't. It's doing terribly. Yeah, I kind of tried to warn people about this one, but it's hard. But when there's a lot of hype on it, yeah, this one's pulling back. You don't want to be in this one. I just think this is a downward slope. This is not going to end well for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to end up losing a lot of money here. So. One thing is, if you're down more than 7% on this one, consider selling and waiting for it to possibly make a round trap, an upturn, because this chart is not good and it's not getting better; it's getting worse, and it's just no. This is not what you want to see. This is not what you want to see. It's kind of similar to GameStop, GME. Things are coming home to roost, and a lot of people are going to get fleeced, but oh well, I guess that's always the way. This is pulled back down to the 50-day line. I'm showing you GameStop right now. This is kind of the similar thing. You just want to these blank check companies and these short plays. I mean, just they're not the best. I'm afraid right now. They just aren't. Hey, is there a way I can follow you? Absolutely. Here's the thing. I'm starting this new Discord room, by the way, and it's I'm going to hopefully have more information on it very shortly. That's what I've been doing. I have this Discord room, and I'm going to be updating that more, so that you can jump in that anytime that I'm not on my broadcast. And I'm going to have information coming out for that very, very shortly. We're just really in the beta right now, but that's going to happen, and we're not there yet. But here's the thing: what you can do, at least for right now. I'm going to send a blast out to everybody that's on the trade alerts at sendfox.com/Dallas Trading Floor, and that's going to show you how you can get into the Discord room. Now, some of it is going to be paid premium content, but a lot of it won't be. So, don't let that put you off on that. But yeah, you can definitely see my trades, and that's going to be on the Discord room. So, thank you very much for that info. All right, so let's see. What about JMIA? Let's look at JMIA. JMIA. And that is the German-based company that's in Africa. Not looking too very good, unfortunately, but it does have very nice relative strength. That's true. It did make an attempt to move above the the 50-day moving average. It's pulled below that. Again, I would trim my position in this one. Just not looking that good. It's got a 66 relative strength. 66 on the checklist, which is good. And it's got 60 funds in it, which is excellent. I mean, this is definitely an underserved area for internet. There's absolutely no question about it. But right now, it's looking to me, and I want to show you this. Let's look at the weekly chart. You can't really see it, but it looks like we might have made a peak here, and we have a left shoulder. So this may be a shortable stock. This is probably going to go lower. My guess on this one is it's probably going to go lower, and it's probably going to rally back to the 21-day line. That's this green line here, but it looks like it's making a move lower. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're seeing that seeing strong selling action in that stock. So I wouldn't be try to lower your exposure a little bit right now. It's a good time to be lowering your exposure in the stock. Down about 10% on each NEO and Palantir. What do you think about these? Well, I think NEO, it's time to possibly leave NEO because here's the thing. The market is making a determination that that it's probably going to be a little bit more time for the Chinese EV stocks. There's been a huge sell-off on the Chinese EV stocks in the last few days. And mainly it has to do with, certain geopolitical things that are totally out of everyone's control, and that is Taiwan. I've been speaking about Taiwan. It looks as if, China wants to get Taiwan back, and they're going to make a move, and unfortunately that causes some weakness on these stocks. So here's the thing. As goes Tesla, goes NEO. So if Tesla is down, you don't want to buy NEO because it trades in sympathy. So there's been a fair amount of selling going on here. I want to show you this on the daily chart today, especially. It is up after hour. Well, it's actually down after. It's up a little bit after hours. So it's bouncing a little bit. It's a dead cat bounce, but it does look like there's a sell-off going on. NEO. So probably if you're down more than 7%, probably be a good time to possibly trim your positions. Palantir is PLTR, and let's see. Let's look at Palantir right now, and it's down as well. There's a key level on it, and that was the 40-day line. The 50-day line here. That's where I have this little alert there. It's below that, and it's trending lower. So unfortunately, the same is true with Palantir. I've just been very negative today, but the market is pulling back, and it's finding a new level, and unfortunately that level is lower. So sorry about that. Are you taking questions from Periscope? Yes, I am. It should, unfortunately with Periscope is going to be ending in basically a week, and unfortunately I'll be off of Periscope. Hopefully I'll be on Instagram, but absolutely I'm taking questions from Periscope. So just type in on Periscope, and most of my people are coming in from YouTube, but type in from Periscope, and I will definitely try to get you up there. Okay, great. It seems the economy is weaker. Yes, it is. That's absolutely right. I think no worries 2020. I think you're right on this. I wish you weren't right on this, but I think your feeling is right with what I'm thinking. We've been kind of told, hey, the economy is it's getting stronger. I don't think so. I think we're going to see some real pain on this reopening. And it looks like the stimulus checks are what was holding up this economy was some of the stimulus checks, and with those not being out there, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So I'm afraid. I think we're in for some heavy sailing here. But here's the thing about that, and I want everyone out there to know this: we can make money in a downward trending market. Stick with me, and I will try to show you how. Currently, I'm shorting Microsoft. That was the first really big. I did short Lululemon last week, and I did make some money on it. I closed the short, but right now I'm shorting Microsoft, believe it or not. And you see, it's after hours. It's down. So Microsoft is going to probably fall below the 50-day average. If that happens, then I think we're going to see a lot more sell-off going on. So the market is getting weaker right now, at least this week. It's still, this is an extremely tough market to trade right now because it has stopped moving. It stopped moving correctly, so it's kind of trying to changing direction. That fake stuck. Yeah. Sorry about that. But thank you very much. Tanker too convenient for oil. Yeah, boy, is that true. That is so true. We don't. That's where we're seeing the strength in this market. Again, I want to show you everyone the list of the strongest sectors, and unfortunately, the sectors right now that are strongest, you don't necessarily want them to be the strongest. The strongest sectors, and I'm going to put them the 10 strongest sectors currently in the market. So let's see if I can bring this up here. There we go. And let's see if I can. Yeah, there we go. So let's show you these are the 10 strongest sectors currently in the market, and this is where the money is headed. So number 1 is oil and gas royalty trust. Number 2 is Canadian oil exploration, which CNR is doing quite well. That's a symbol that you might want to look at. Retail department stores. This is one I haven't really looked into. Shipping, interestingly enough, is doing well. Go figure. I mean, shipping has been in decline for like 20 years. So go figure. That's a bearish sign there, unfortunately. Wholesale jewelry is doing well. What resale and wholesale jewelry says is people are taking their money and they're turning it into jewelry so that they can't, they're turning it into gold jewelry. So that's not a good thing. Retail, consumer electronics. So basically, the U.S. oil producers are doing well. So let's take a look at let's take a look just quickly at the retail department stores. These have been so beaten down. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit leery with the retail department stores, to be honest here. I don't really like them, obviously, if you've been watching for any amount of time. But let's take a look at some of the retail department stores to see if there's anything that we can do. So I'm gonna pull up the retail department stores. Number 3 on the list, and this will give us the overall view of kind of where in the market we can start looking for stuff. Okay. So this is the chart for the retail department stores. Now I want to see. I don't really know what's in that list, so I'm going to take a look to see. Kohl's looks like the top producer in the list. So Kohl's and Nordstrom's and Macy's. So let's look at Kohl's first to see if it's even buyable. And I don't even like this one. This is not something I'm really that interested in. I mean, I guess people are bargain hunting here, but again, I can't even get behind this one. Yeah. Well, it's still above the 50-day line, so that's good, but I can't even get behind retail department stores. So let's kind of look to see if there's let's just see if there's another sector that we can look at, that might be might show a some more potential here, and that is U.S. oil and gas. I think that one probably is going to be the best. So let me just take a look at U.S. oil and gas producers and see if there's anything that we can that we can do. So let me pull that one up here. That's number 10. No. Well, I thought it was. I guess it's changed. I mean, the oil and gas drilling. U.S. Okay, so let's look at the E&P companies from the U.S. to see if there's anything there. Let's see if there's any opportunities. This sector was so beaten down that I think this is more. It isn't necessarily that things are necessarily getting all that great in the sector. It's just that it was so far beaten down that I think we're going to see some movement. Okay, so let's look at FANG. Diamondback has always been one of the better ones in this category. So let's take a look. Well, it looks like it may have bounced off the 50-day line, but again, I'm not really, and it's up after hours. So this one I would kind of possibly take a look at. It it looks like it's gotten some support at the 21-day line, but again, I wouldn't be a real buyer of this right now, even at that. But it has a relative strength of 90, so, and it does look like this might make a reversal. So this is probably a watch list for me. Diamondback Energy, FANG. That's one where I could say that we might have some strength. But again, I wouldn't be a buyer until I got some more conviction on it. I just wouldn't. Hey, great question. Chevron is been strong. CVX is probably the best of the integrated majors. It's pulled up today. So typically, in a recession, the oil companies are probably going to do relatively well because people won't be buying Tesla cars because they don't have the money, and the price of oil will be higher. So they probably will do better, the ones that are actually selling the gasoline. BP is also really good. It has a relative strength of 54, which is not very good, but it looks like it had a reversal on the 21-day line. So actually, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, look at that. The checklist is only 55, but I'm really liking this. Now it says that it's 107, but I know that this is integrated. That's the reason. The drillers are where people are putting more money. But let's take a look. I'm going to look at BP because this is sort of a peer of Chevron. See if we've got anything there. Well, okay, it's up today. The integrated oils are up. Let's look at XOM. This is ExxonMobil, of course. It's up today too. So they're all kind of running in a pack. Now it's a little bit after hours, but it looks like it's got support at the support at the 21 days. So that is actually good. So it looks like there is a shift, and thank you for that. Nowhere, thank you. No worries. 2020. That I appreciate that very, very much. You've given some really, really good information there, because I do think that we are seeing a movement back into the oils, if you can believe that. Give me some short stock. Okay, the short that I'm looking at basically right now is Microsoft, MSFT. I did short it. It's doing what they call this is called wedging, is what it's doing. Let me see if I can get the daily chart up here for you to show you kind of what I'm talking about here. This is characteristic of a stock as it moves. As it moves lower, it's gonna come to sort of a wedge here. See, like that, and it's gonna get less and less. It's gonna go up and down, and it's gonna bounce, and it's gonna bounce. And this is what they call wedging. And if it wedges, that means it's gonna come out of this wedge, typically to either the upside or downside. But in this case, because of the trend, it's going to come to the downside. So this is what they call a wedging, and this is why I shorted it, because it came right to the top of this. It came right to the top of this line, and where I will probably close the short will be right here at this trend line. So I'm going to set an alert. Oops. I'm going to draw that again. I'm going to draw that again. There we go. I'm going to draw that again. And then I'm going to draw the other part of the wedge. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is, if this comes down, this is where I'm going to probably close the short, and that's going to be about this level here. Oh, I'm trying to get my thing to work. Here we go. Okay. So I do believe that at about 229 is where I'm going to be closing this short, but that I do believe that we're going to see this one come down probably to 229, 230. So I'm probably going to close my short on this one at about 230. I shorted at about 235. Well, no, a little more than 236 today. So it's down a little bit, not a lot, but I do think we're going to see some more weakness. So if you're looking for a short, this is, possibly a short. Okay, we got last question here. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. How do you short Microsoft? Do you sell puts? How do you evaluate the thing? Good question. Thank you. No worries. The way I short it is that I go to, and I will show you this. I actually, in my YouTube, I have a video on this one on how to short a stock. But basically what you do is I use TD Ameritrade for this, and I do have a level 3 account. And basically what I do is I borrow the shares and then I sell them, and then I wait for hopefully the shares to decline in value. If they decline in value, then I buy them back and give them back their shares. And hopefully, if I did that right, then I made some money. And I think probably I will on this one. We'll see. I did this on Lululemon. So you have to have a level 3 account. I use TD Ameritrade. Microsoft shares are very, very easy to borrow. And basically, it's instead of buying a stock, you go to, normally there's a drop-down menu that'll say, buy, sell short, or buy to cover. And you go to the third one down, and that's the sell short. And then you put in the number of shares that you have. And if you have the margin in there, if you have the cash in there, you can then borrow those shares, and I do, and then sell them. And then that cash goes into your account. It's restricted. And then you, hopefully, if the stock is going down, you wait until it retreats, and then you cover it. Now, I'm going to cover my short at about, if it pulls below 230. So I'm going to probably cover my short at about 228 or 229. And I think I'll probably try to make a little video on this to show people kind of how I'm doing it and what I'm doing. Because in a declining market, that's what you want to do. You want to start shorting the shares that you can. Now, unfortunately, you have to have a level 3 account. A regular cash account, you can't do this in. So you do have to have that level 3 account. But it's a very good way to pick up some money when stocks are declining. And there's very specific patterns that you look for. And one of them is this wedging, and the other one is called a head and shoulders. And I'm going to make some videos about this because I think we're coming into a period in which some of these stocks are going to be pulling back, and you have potential to make some money in this. Shorting can be very, very dangerous, though. You've got to put your stops very carefully. So, I'm going to be adjusting my stops tonight, but I will probably try to show more people about this way of making money, because this can be, in a market that is adjusting, this can be a very, very good opportunity. So if you want to get on the list, what I'll do is I'll probably try to put out something on this tonight probably after about 6 o'clock. But what you need to do is, if you're on the list here, on the free action trade alerts list, I'm going to be sending out to people on that list. And that's to get on the list, it's sendfox.com/Dallas Trading Floor. And then I am putting together a Discord room, which, where it's going to be a little bit easier to interact with me rather than this one way with the show and just the questions. I really appreciate everyone and all their questions. Very, very helpful. Until tomorrow at 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. Happy trading, and I hope everyone stays safe. If you're down more than 7% in a stock, consider closing it, going to cash, waiting for a more opportune time, because I do think we're going to probably move lower. That's what I'm seeing. Can't guarantee it, can't predict the future, but that's what the charts are saying. I think we're going to move a little bit lower. So if you're down in more than 7% in any position, you might want to close that position, sell it, preserve your capital, because there are going to be other opportunities. There always are. But right now, the market condition seems to be changing to the downside. So again, thanks so very much for taking a look today, and I will see you tomorrow at 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern.